One day after Bengals head coach Zac Taylor said Ja'Marr Chase would practice, Ja'Marr Chase isn't practicing. Hi again, everyone, and welcome into Cincinnati Bengals Talk. I'm James Rapien of BengalsTalk.com. That's an SI site. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button as we inch closer to 46,000. Also, ring the bell so you get notified when you get videos like this one, a video that we didn't plan on doing at this time of day, but it is certainly noteworthy, and we're brought to you by BetUS. Let's get into today and what happened today. The Bengals practicing in their indoor facility one day after Zac Taylor said that he expects Ja'Marr Chase to practice this week, expects Ja'Marr Chase to play week one. And Ja'Marr Chase, well, he was a no-show for 13 minutes. Ja'Marr Chase was not on the practice field during initial warm-ups and team stretch, and then he strolled in shortly after stretching, or right as stretching was wrapping up at 2:13. Practice started at 2. He rolled in at 2:13, clearly in comfy clothes, clearly not participating in practice, and clearly sending a message. The way he did it, it was clear that everyone was going to see him, that there was going to be video of him walking in. Everyone was wondering where he was. I had just sent out a tweet like 2 minutes prior, like, Ja'Marr Chase isn't here. And I tried to be patient because some guys show up to practice a little bit later than others. Stretching is just stretching. Big deal, right? Well, he missed all of today's practice, was present again, but clearly sending a message. And you may think, oh, well, he didn't practice all training camp. This is nothing new. Well, it is, because he participated in practice on Sunday, participated in practice on Monday, and then on Tuesday, Zac Taylor was asked about Ja'Marr Chase, his status, and what the plan was moving forward. Here's what Zac had to say in a series of questions that he answered about Ja'Marr Chase.
You know, just to have our full complement of weapons out there, I think gives you the visual of what it's going to look and feel like for us. And so it's been good to get him back in the mix these last couple of days.
What's the plan for him this week? How much and how has he looked so far in these first couple practices back?
Yeah, he's looked great. You know, same Ja'Marr I'm used to, and the plan will be continue to practice with him.
Has there been any conversation about what his plans are for week one? Have you all had that discussion yet?
He and I always have conversations.
Did you say the plan is for Ja'Marr to be ready for week one?
Yeah, he's going to practice this week, and we'll just keep taking it from there.
Are you confident he'll play week one?
Yes.
So there you go. Zac Taylor expects Ja'Marr Chase to play week one as of yesterday. He expected Ja'Marr Chase to participate in practice this week. Obviously, Ja'Marr isn't. And honestly, this seems like Zac is stuck between rock and a hard place. And whether the hard place is the Bengals and the front office and the rock is Ja'Marr Chase, or vice versa, however you want to use the analogy, Ja'Marr Chase clearly wants an extension, is unhappy about his contract, believes he's a huge part of this franchise, wants to get paid like it now, doesn't want to wait, wants to get it out of the way, much like Joe Burrow did last year. And I think that's it. He wants to be the exception to the rule like Joe Burrow was, and he's seen the way some of these other negotiations can play out if you go into year 4. Heck, Justin Jefferson got his money, but he was hurt in his 4th season with Minnesota. So I'm sure Ja'Marr, there's a bunch of reasons why he wants to get it done, but clearly sending a message today. A day after his head coach says, oh, yeah, he's going to practice. Yes, we expect him week one. And it feels like things are moving forward from a football sense. Well, Ja'Marr just reminded everyone that, yeah, it's not over until it's over, and it might need to be over when he signs on the dotted line. He is eligible for a contract extension. CeeDee Lamb got a contract extension earlier this week of 4 years, $136 million. Really close to Justin Jefferson's 4 years, $140. We will see if the Bengals get a deal done with Ja'Marr Chase, but certainly something that we will keep you posted on. And the Bengals have made a ton of moves. Hopefully you've been following along on BengalsTalk.com. Let's get to one of them coming up next. The newest member of the Bengals defense and a surprise cut that the Bengals made on Wednesday. Today's video is brought to you by BetUS. You got to get in on the action right now with BetUS because you're going to not only get the fastest payouts in the industry, you're going to get a 125% sign-up bonus up to $2,000 on your first 3 deposits with BetUS. All you have to do is click the link in the description. And the Bengals, well, they have a lot of new faces and some old faces in that defensive line room after adding multiple key players over the past couple of years, drafting Myles Murphy, signing Sheldon Rankins. Could they lead the NFL in sacks? Well, according to BetUS, they're tied for the 5th best odds at plus 1,500 to do so. The other options you see there, San Francisco, the Chiefs, the Cowboys, the Bills, and then the Bengals tied with the Eagles and Ravens. If you like them at plus 1,500, well, get in on the action now. Or maybe you don't think it's going to be the Bengals, and maybe you do think that it'll be the Ravens or the Eagles or one of these other teams. Get in on the action today. Click the link in the description and take advantage of their 125% sign-up bonus, up to $2,000 on your first 3 deposits. The Bengals have a new defensive end, which shouldn't surprise a lot of you. They only had 4 defensive ends on their initial roster, and they added KJ Henry, a former Clemson star, was a 5th-round pick from the Washington Commanders last year. The Commanders released him after he had a really stellar preseason. It's worth noting that they did have a coaching staff change there in Washington, and he was a 5th-round rookie last year, 137th pick overall, lined up opposite Myles Murphy at Clemson. And the thing I like about taking a flyer on Henry is the fact that he was pretty productive last season considering he was a role player. Had a sack and a half, 4 tackles for loss, 19 tackles overall in 10 games. And you just need another rotational piece. He's a guy that's obviously on a rookie deal, someone that you bring in makes a lot of sense. The Bengals did release Trayveon Williams to make room for him, but Trayveon's a vested veteran. I would expect him back tomorrow or at some point this week. They're not going to carry 2 running backs. So I think that this is just roster gymnastics by the Bengals. So they add a defensive end. They have 5 defensive ends. We'll see what happens there. Now you have 11 defensive linemen in that room, 6 tackles, 5 ends. So maybe something gives there in that defensive tackle room. Maybe they're looking at what to do with McKinley Jackson, or if McKinley Jackson is close, maybe you look at a J2 Fele. Maybe there's another IR move that I don't see coming at another position. But overall, I would expect to see Trayveon Williams back on Thursday. The days get confusing. Thursday, I would say. We'll see if it happens, but that would be my guess. Other than that, the Bengals finalized their practice squad. You can check that out, all of the guys, at bengalstalk.com. And we're going to keep you up to date on all things Ja'Marr Chase, all things Bengals, because, well, the regular season, tick, 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 is almost here. Just 11 days away, and we have you covered. So hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, get to BetUS, and until next time, I'm James Rapien. Thank you so much for watching Cincinnati Bengals Talk.